Guys, I haven't made an actual video in a long time, so I decided to do my makeup while I'm talking and taping and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna do my makeup and talk. I think I did a video like this before on here where I just did my eyeshadow, but I don't have any makeup on right now. Yeah, so we're gonna do it. So the last time I made a video, it was bad. I mean, the quality was bad, the subject was not bad, but, I was having a very bad time. I gotta use some mirror for this. I don't know how people look into their viewfinders when they do this stuff. Yeah, so I was having a bad time. So last time I made a video, I had just been put on Wellbutrin. It was actually the, generic Wellbutrin. And, yeah, I don't use, a sponge or anything with my hands. I can't get into the sponge thing. So, I was on it at that time I hadn't taken it yet when I filmed that last video on my phone, the really shitty one that probably nobody could watch. Looks different in here. So, after that video, I started taking it. And I started taking the, anti-anxiety pill too. Sorry about my hair too, it's just whatever. I started taking both of those, and I was on them for about a month. Not both of them actually. The anti-anxiety pill actually made me feel a lot worse. It gave me panic attacks, which is not something you want in a pill that's supposed to make your anxiety go away. And it made me really sick of, like, splitting migraines and just not helpful. So, after that, I, emailed my doctor, because I have lovely Medicare, and, when you call the place I go to, very iffy if you get a person to talk to. So your best bet is email sometimes. Sometimes you don't get a response with email either. And it's not, there's a ton of people they see because a lot of people have Medicaid and it's understaffed and yada yada, the system is flawed and all of that. So, sorry, my brain is still foggy, if you can't. I'm in a date on the Wellbutrin, and they prescribed me something else for anxiety, which wasn't actually for anxiety. Gotta cover these dark-ass circles under my eyes. It's called I think I might still have it, actually. Yeah, it's called hydroxyzine. And it's basically like a really strong Benadryl. It's an antihistamine. I looked it up. It says like people, anesthesiologists give it to people before they go under and stuff. Basically, I took it before bed and it would make me fall asleep. So, in theory, I wasn't anxious because I was asleep, but it was not ideal because I didn't want to be knocked out. I just didn't want to be anxious because I don't know if I've explained this before. Probably can guess or, figure it out. But, my anxiety is not always, for the most part, it's not anxiety attacks. It's mostly a constant state of worrying about everything in my life and anxious racing thoughts and things like that. And, it's not, it's not something where it comes on suddenly. You know, there's definitely times where it's worse and that comes on suddenly and stuff like that, but mostly I am anxious. I'm just an anxious person. I've always been that way. So the pills that they were giving me for that, they were okay, but they kind of just covered up the problem. It didn't really help. And you're not supposed to take them for a long period of time, so I'm not sure why I was prescribed them. So I was taking that, and the Wellbutrin, 10 milligrams, I forget what it was, 10, 20 milligrams, really low. And it was the worst experience of my life, actually. I felt mostly just dizzy and tired for the first few weeks I was on it. By the second week I was on it, I had one really good day where I felt really motivated, like I really wanted to get stuff done, and that's usually like, I felt it before after coming out of depression, and I felt like I was getting better, because that's what it usually feels like. I feel more motivated, I felt like doing stuff, I did a lot that day. I wrote and I, scheduled stuff and so I thought I was doing better. Next day, I completely crashed, is the only way I can describe it. I kind of just, I'm looking for my eyebrow pencil, so you don't have to look at my alien face. I woke up with a really bad migraine the next day, like I was hungover, like the worst hangover I've ever felt. And ever since that day, I gradually got more anxious, more upset about everything, and more, like, angry. Like, a side effect of that medicine was anger. And I was snapping and yelling and, throw things angry. I'm never like that. And poor Al, I was so mean to him and so awful. And I'm so grateful. He's such a patient person and so loving and understands, maybe not understands, but, can accept that it wasn't me doing those things. But, yeah, it was bad. And the last straw was, I had a huge fight with him. We never fight, The only things we fight about are stupid things, like if aliens are real or, conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Not real, I'm afraid he's gonna break up with me fights. You're with somebody for almost 11 years, you kind of know what buttons not to push, and, you kind of communicate so you don't get each other mad with misunderstandings and things like that. Anyway, I had a really big breakdown because, he's the type of person that when he gets mad enough, he kind of just gets quiet and doesn't talk to you, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't talk to me either when I was like that. So this looks crazy right now, I bet. This is how I do my eyebrows, if you're ever wondering. So anyway, he stopped talking to me that night, and I don't have many people to talk to, or that I feel like I can talk to when I'm like that, because, it's a hard thing to talk about, and stuff like that. So, I had, a really big breakdown, and it was over the weekend, over a weekend that it happened, so I couldn't call my doctor, I couldn't call anybody. I almost went to the emergency room. That's how bad my anxiety was, and how bad I felt. I felt worse than I had when I wasn't taking anything. Worse than before I was on any medication at all. So, the next day I called my doctor, and I got an appointment, thank God. my actual doctor that I had finally found, like, I don't trust doctors. That's a whole nother story. I don't fucking trust doctors. I don't trust that they all have their best interests in mind, and they're not controlled by pharmaceutical companies, or this, that, and, you know, money and stuff like that. So I finally found a doctor, you know, while I was going through all of this, found a doctor that I trusted and thought had my best interests in mind, and she is no longer with that office I go to that takes my insurance, the only one that takes my insurance where I live. So, on top of being anxious and horribly depressed and all of these things, and jumpy and very short-fused. How's that look? Okay, I guess. Yeah, I had to switch doctors, and thankfully I got a doctor that was nice and listened to me. That's a whole, she was nice. She looked like she was younger than me, so I was a little skeptical, but she was nice, and she listened to me, and we changed my medicine. So now, what I'm taking is, it's the generic for Zoloft, 50 milligrams. Now, when I first started taking it, she told me to break them in half, because I'm really bad with medicine and things, and I'm very sensitive, and so I didn't want to, like, mess up my body more than it was, so we decided to do half of the medicine, and then once I got used to it, the whole one. And she also said that I might not feel the effects until I'm up to like 100 milligrams, so that's another thing to look forward to, is adjusting to more medicine. That's my phone if you can hear it, sorry. What else? Oh, when I went, I've never had high blood pressure before. The only time I get high blood pressure is when I'm nervous, or anxious. I mean, I think anybody would, but when I went, the nurse took my, you know, sometimes the last few times I've gone to the dentist or the doctor when they take my blood pressure, it's been like slightly high because I'm like nervous about something, or I just got out of the car from driving, and driving makes me nervous. So I told her, I was like, oh, you should take it. Well, she took it, it was really, really high. It was the highest I've ever seen it. I've never had high blood pressure ever. I don't remember the numbers, I'm not good with that, but it was really high. And I told her, I was like, oh, you should take it again in a little bit, because, you know, when I explained that I'm anxious as hell, and la la la, she said, okay. She goes out of the room, and I waited in there for an hour, which is, you know, part of going to the doctor, I guess, unfortunately. But, when I went, I finally got to, you know, talk about what I wanted, and, you know, my other doctor was nice and all, but, she kind of picked what I was supposed to go on for me, and, I was kind of desperate, you know, to not go on medicine that would make me gain weight, because I've gained so much weight since being on the last drug I was on, and, that's all she kind of heard, I guess, and then she decided to put me on the Wellbutrin. Wellbutrin works, as I've seen, you know, I've seen online and reviews and stuff. It works for a lot of people, and a lot of people swear by it. It makes them get out of bed and, you know, feel like a human, and that's amazing. For me, it's not good for people with anxiety, is what I gathered. because it's not an SSRI, in depression and anxiety lingo, it's basically the receptor that it works on in your brain, a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, something like that. I think it's been a while since I've read up on it, but it's not an SSRI, it is a stimulant. So most antidepressants make you tired, this one makes you more awake, and it's not, it has nothing in it for anxiety. When I was taking it, not only was I anxious as hell, I was taking it during the day, which is different because I usually would take all of my medicine at night because it would make me tired. And I was taking this one during the day because that's what they told me to do. And I would take it, like 9 a.m. I feel fine. Well, not fine, but no crazy adverse effects. And then by 2, it would just continuously get worse, and I would feel dizzier and dizzier, and sicker, until I would basically pass out at night, and then I would start it all over again the next day. And then it just slowly got worse, making my anxiety worse and making my depression worse. Because depression, for me, when I can't control things, I get really depressed and anxious. When I can't, when I don't have a definite time frame or, a definite end in sight to when things will start working and stop feeling horrible, that's a huge trigger for me. And yeah, it was really bad. Been feeling completely normal. I've been feeling kinda, instead of feeling awful, like the world is going to end, I kinda just feel like one level of meh, which is better than, how I was feeling, believe it or not. I'd rather feel like that. But I am recently, starting like maybe last week into this week, what is it, Tuesday? Wednesday? It's Wednesday. I started feeling a lot more motivated again, and I actually started writing again, and I started working on the book I've been trying to work on for the past year that I haven't touched all summer. My plan was to finish it over the summer. I'm new to this whole contouring thing, so so it's kind of a big deal because I feel a lot not normal, my normal at least, but a lot better than I felt like a few months ago. But I am feeling like it's kind of working, at least. Depression is not a straight line, as they say. It's more of a, up and down thing. No matter what kind of depression you have, I think bipolar or generalized or clinical or any of the many, many forms you can have it, and I don't think it's always a constant struggle. Even if you're doing well and you're on medication and you feel fine, it's always in the back of your mind that you're not going to feel good in the future, and that's part of it that I really am trying to work on and get over, because it's very difficult. Ooh, that looks bad. Let's blend that in. It's very difficult to concentrate on your everyday life when you're worrying about when the next time you will not feel good is. It's no way to live. It's an awful way to live. And as I start feeling better and better, I'm trying really hard not to focus on those things. And I knew I was starting to feel better because I did, I started writing again, which was like the biggest, I'm highlighting, I think. By the way, I'm using eyeshadow. They don't make contouring stuff in my shade, so this is basically eyeshadow. Yeah, it works for me. I'm going to the gym for the first time in my life, and it feels great. Like, exercise I've always, like, struggled with, because another way I get anxious is if I can't breathe, and exercise makes it hard to breathe sometimes. And I also have really bad knees, so I can't do a lot of, like, high impact stuff on my legs. But I've been using the elliptical and bikes and weights and stuff. I've only been going for like 2 weeks with my boyfriend, who I didn't even think was gonna go with me. I would have went by myself, but it's nice to have a buddy. And it makes me feel a lot better, and hopefully I will start losing weight soon, because I'm the heaviest I've ever been in my life. My weight would never fluctuate before I was on antidepressants. I'm gonna do my eyeliner while talking. This always ends well. My weight never was heavier, or fluctuated much when I wasn't on medication. Pretty much once I was done with puberty and stuff, I stayed at around 135, 135, which is apparently my ideal weight according to the doctor, which I think is a bunch of bullshit too, because not everybody, the BMI thing, not everybody has the same body type, you know, and I think that's a lot of bullshit. So, but anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah, and I steadily gained weight while I was on this pill. For the 4 years I was on it, I gained 40-ish pounds, and I was aware I was getting a little bit bigger, but I was in college, and I figured, everybody puts on weight in college because they're stressed out more and eating more, and, everybody puts on weight when they go to college, and, I wasn't, like, outgrowing my clothes or anything, but the past few years I have been, and, hold on, this is important, putting the wing on. I don't care about weight. It's like a number to me. I would rather, look the way I did when I weighed that much rather than weighing that much, if that makes sense. I don't care about weight. I care about, I don't really fit in my clothes anymore. I have, like, bloated skin now, and despite eating pretty healthy, I'm not losing weight. So, the only thing I can think of is to eat healthy and exercise. Go figure. But right now I weigh 170. Last time I went I was 176. And it's not like a big deal. When you think about it. There are worse problems in the world. I'd rather be fat and happy than, unhappy or anxious and things like that. But it is kind of important to me, like I said in the other video, because I don't look like myself to myself anymore. And it's kind of freaky. It's like, well, the whole time I was on the medicine, I didn't really think about it much, and when I like constantly think about it, and it's not like obsessive or anything, but it's always in the back of my head, like, I'm not the same looking person. To, look in the mirror and you look different than what you imagine yourself to look like, and it's kind of fucks with your head. Look what I I'll fix it. Gotta wait. That's a tip. If you do this, wait for it to dry. Don't do it when it's wet. It'll just make it worse. Finish your makeup and then fix it when it's dry. And now my releases and stuff are still on hold somewhat. I have 3 books I'm working on. The one is the one I'm gonna query, so it's not gonna be self-published. It's not on a release schedule or anything. Trying not to put so much pressure on myself with deadlines, book deadlines and stuff, because it's just one more thing I have to stress out about, and right now I can't deal with extra stress, honestly. And I know most people, they don't really care when the books come out and stuff, but I do, and it's kind of, it's kind of stressful just not doing anything. It's stressful doing stuff, and, I'm trying is all I can do. But yeah, I'm hopeful right now that I'm starting to feel better. And I didn't want to say anything too soon. Like last week I felt a little bit better, but I didn't want to get my hopes up because that's what happened with the last pill, and it made it that much harder to accept when it didn't work. But I think I'm feeling okay. I'm going to be trying to do more like when I go places like film stuff, because I like those. I like watching them back and like seeing what I did that day or week or whatever. Every year I plan to do like a clip of each day of NaNoWriMo. Gonna try to do it again this year, and I hope it works this year. I've been trying to do it for the past 3 years. I really want to do it, and put it like all into one video at the end of the month and like, put it up. So hopefully that'll work out. Yeah, what else? That's about it. I might make a video for Halloween because it's my favorite holiday, first of all. And I have a very different costume this year because I wanted to be comfortable and not like fuss with like makeup and latex and a whole bunch of stuff. And I didn't want to spend a bunch of money. I always spend so much money on costumes, and I don't like being the same thing twice, so I never wear it again. So my costume's gonna be a surprise this year, and maybe I can film like I have to kind of make part of it. So maybe I'll film that. It won't be that long. It's literally I just have to paint something. But yeah, let me know if you want to see things like that. I'm also thinking about doing another book, like, what did I call them before? I don't know, like, haul, or, not really a haul, because I haven't bought anything, but I've been reading things. I've been reading again. That's another thing that tells me I'm okay, or getting okay. I've been reading again like crazy. Like, I haven't read in months, unless it was for, work, and I've been reading a lot, and, like, actually, like, looking forward to reading stuff, not, like, forcing myself to read stuff because I haven't read. So, yeah, I might do, like, another video like that where I, like, go through the books I've been reading, or the books I'm looking forward to reading and stuff. Let me know what you want to see. I want to be more on the YouTube, says the old person. You know what I mean. I want to be on YouTube more. I like this platform. I think it's cool. I think I like seeing other authors. There aren't many authors that do YouTube videos, so I want to have a little bit of everything for everyone. So I think that's it. I don't have much else to say. There's not much else going on. I've just been taking it slow, and most people have been very, very nice about it, and just so understanding, and, like, the people in my life, of course, have been amazing, and supportive and stuff. I've already talked about it all, but I don't want to get, like, super sappy, because I cried enough in the last video, but I'm really happy I have him, and I'm sure I'd tell him a lot, but I feel like even that's not enough. I'm just extremely happy I have someone in my life that cares and isn't pushed away by things that I can't control, that anybody else might not accept. And I'm grateful that I have that. I'm grateful that, I'm just really grateful for the people in my life right now and the people on the internet that I know and talk to and support me and stuff. I'm just feeling grateful lately and happier. Not completely better, I would say, but not the worst. So it's a start, at least. It's a start.